Hey, this is TimmyG. Welcome to my video on using two DJ controllers at the same time with DJ Pro 2. This video suggestion was brought to me by YouTube user Killa, so thanks Killa for the idea. And I'll just be going through all sorts of different things that happen and my advice on when you might actually want to use something like this in a real situation. But anyway, let's get started. So I got both controllers right here. I have the DDJ RB right here and the DDJ 1000 right here. And I have DJ Pro 2 loaded on my computer right now. And right now I'm just going to go over kind of like the first things that I noticed when I tried this for the first time. So I'll start with the crossfader. So if I move the crossfader on the DDJ 1000, let's say I put it in the middle, we can see on the screen it's moving. And then if I come over here to the DDJ RB, when I start moving it, it jumps directly to that place. And then in a little bit, I'll explain what I would do to actually have this be a practical use, but we'll do that after. So anyway, that works basically for all of the buttons here. So if I move this one to the left, let's say, and then right when I touch the DDJ 1000, boom, it's right back to the middle. So if you are actually planning on using two DJ controllers, what you're going to want to do is disable one of the crossfaders, just so you aren't jumping around, and I'm going to do that later in the video. Right now I'm going to go to the software and just show you what I did for my audio preferences. So it actually gave me the option to do both controllers. So if I go right here, I can pick DDJ RB or DDJ 1000. And just the way that I have my controller set up, I have my RCAs going out of my DDJ 1000. I have nothing going out of the DDJ RB. So the audio is all going through the DDJ 1000, and the DDJ RB is just acting as a controller and not an audio interface. We're using the DDJ 1000. It's just much better at everything. Never mind, it has more options. So anyway, that's what I did. My headphones are coming out of the DDJ 1000. I mean, if I wanted to, I could change that to the DDJ RB, but I figured I'd keep it simple. If you were doing this in a real world situation, which it's rare but not impossible, there is a way that you could have headphones plugged into both. You can make an aggregate audio device, which I'm not going to show here, or you could have a splitter cable going out of this headphone jack right here on the whatever controller you pick to be the pre-Q. Like I chose the DDJ 1000. So what you'd want to do is just get a splitter cable, and I actually have one, so I'll go grab one in a moment, and then plug both pairs of headphones in. So this is the splitter cable that I have. What you would do is just plug this in to the headphone jack. I might be out of frame, which is fine. And then you have your two split channels. Now this actually goes from mono to mono. So I would actually suggest just using like something that just lowers the volume a little bit so you can hear both channels, but not a huge deal. Plug one in. If I had another pair of headphones, I'd plug those in. Then both DJs could be wearing headphones at the same time if you are using two DJs for this application. But anyway, enough with the headphones and the audio. I'm going to get out of the preferences too. And if you see, I'm in 4-deck mode in DJ Pro 2, and that is just so I can show we have 4 decks here. We have 4 jog wheels, so I might as well use 4 tracks. You can use 2-deck mode with this, but if you're using 2-deck mode, I don't know why you'd be using 2 controllers. So anyway, I'm just going to play a track let's see, I will play, I'm closest to, this is Algoriddim off my new Algoriddim EP. And I'll just kind of show basically some things that you can do and how it affects everything. So I'm going to turn the filter color knob here down. And if I filter this down here on the DDJ 1000 and come over to the filter on the DDJ RB, it has the same effect as the crossfader. Like whenever I touch it on the other controller, it automatically jumps to that point, which can kind of get annoying if you're actually trying to use two controllers. So you can edit all that, adjust all that in the MIDI configuration, which we'll do later. And so I guess what I'll do is I'll just play around and you guys can watch the screen and watch the controllers and look at whatever you want. Then I will go over how the effects work. The effects kind of go through the software. I know a lot of complaints on, or just comments on my videos about the DDJ 1000 and DJ Pro 2 is that the effects only work on the master track, which is true. Maybe in the future there will be an update for that, but as of now, the effects only work on the master. But basically, if you're controlling a track on the DDJ RB, the effects will work on the DDJ 1000. So I'll just kind of play around for a little bit and show you kind of what everything is doing. And yeah, and then we'll jump into what I think the best way to actually use this application and how to go about doing that. So I'll hit play again. Here I'm holding two of them at the same time. Oh, that was a gain. I'm holding both EQs at the same time. You can see them kind of jump around on the screen. The play pause works for both. The hot cues. And just as an FYI, I have this on deck 2, and this is a 2-deck controller over here. So these are both on deck 2 controlling the same thing. So if you see I'm scratching here on this deck, and you see this little line right here moving on this on the DDJ 1000, which is kind of cool. Little ghost jog wheel. So that's a basic idea of that, and basically how the controls work when you have two controllers plugged in. So now we'll do the effects. So I'll hit play on here, just for fun. And I'll just go through the effects and how I technically have a track playing on the DDJ RB, but it's using the effects from the DDJ 1000. One more thing I mentioned is the faders work the same way. Let me back to the effects. And obviously some of these effects sound ridiculous, but it's just the point that since the DDJ 1000 is our master output, these effects are working, and they probably would work too, even if I had the DDJ RB as the master output. But yeah, it is what it is here. All right, so anyway, now let's get into an actual application of this. What would we actually need this for, and then how do we do that? So the only thing that comes to mind here is, one, if you have two controllers that are completely different and you like different things about them, in which case you can use both. Or what I'm actually going to do is show you if you were to have two DJs up here and they each bring their own controller, or you have two controllers, one for each DJ, and you don't want to share one controller, and you want each DJ to be able to have two decks on their own, that's what we're going to do. So basically, since the DDJ RB is a 2-deck controller, I'm going to have this control channels 1 and 2, which it is controlling right now. And then I'm going to have the Pioneer DJ DDJ 1000 control channels 3 and 4. Oh, this was already on 3. So 3 and 4. So basically, you won't have to worry about accidentally touching something or whatever. The way that we're going to do this is I'm going to only have one crossfader. I'm going to basically have the DDJ 1000 crossfader be the main crossfader, and I'm going to disable this crossfader. And I'm also going to disable these mixer faders. Now, sometimes it can get a little wonky. You don't have to do this because all you got to do is just not touch these two channels in the mixer, and you'll be fine. Doesn't seem like something that anyone needs to worry about. But anyway, let's get going with that. So I'm just going to get each track to the front. Whoops, that's the air horn sample. Everyone knows that. All right, so I got each track here. That's just because that was bothering me for some reason. And what I'm going to do is go up here on the screen to the MIDI. If we can see here, we can configure both the DDJ 1000 and the DDJ RB. And I believe the settings that I have right now, they're both on their default settings, which is great. So I'm going to go to DDJ RB first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can disable these. So this is deck 1 line volume. And to disable something, I just click here under target and go down to general. And then nothing is selected here. So I'm going to move this over. Whoops. I apologize. I got a bunch of different programs running and a pretty crazy setup for this video. So I'm going to just scroll that down. I'm going to move this fader. It doesn't seem like anything's happening. And I'm going to move it on the RB, and this is what should have been happening. So this seems like it's successful. So I've moved this and nothing happens here. And once again, you don't have to do that. That's just in case you accidentally touch it or something. So anyway, I'm going to do the same thing with second channel, deck 2 line volume. I'm going to go to general. Whoops. There it is. General. And then there's nothing there. I don't have to pick anything here. And then it's all set. So if I do this, move this out of the way. So if I do this on the RB, this is what should be happening. And we can see that this is disabled here. Now, I'm not going to do that with all of these mixer settings. I'm just going to assume that whatever DJ would be on this knows enough not to touch these. It's like, I'd say it's a lot harder to accidentally touch these than these faders right here. So anyway, we're going to move on. And then I'm on the DJI 1000 right now. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to disable them. Okay. So I'm going to go right here where it says USB-A line or USB-B. Right now I have USB-A plugged in on the DDJ 1000 into my laptop. So I'm just going to get it onto line, and this one onto line here. And then if I go to those decks, it says external input, and nothing's happening right here. Okay. Now I think this will actually, this might, I don't know. Let's see, let's play a track here. That's not letting me play. Hold on. Let me get out of this right now. There we go, it's being slow. I'll save that because we're gonna get back to that edit. All right, there we go. So I'm playing the track. So these still work because they're connected to the computer, obviously, but just don't touch them to effect. These don't work though, which is good. That's what we wanted. So now what I'm gonna do is, like I said earlier, I'm gonna go back here so I can see the things that I want to see. And then on the crossfader, I want it to only work for the DDJ 1000. I do not want it to work for the DDJ RB. So I'm gonna go to the MIDI right here, configure DDJ RB, and then just go right here and boom, crossfader. One of the most important things on a DJ controller. Hit general, it's gone now. And then if I move this out of the way, you see that I'm moving this on the DDJ RB, nothing's happening. I move it on the DDJ 1000 and it's doing what it's supposed to do, which is great. So if you want to save these, you just go right here. So I'm going to hit done really quickly. And that it's saved, but if I want to like rename it to something besides DDJ RB edit, I can go right here, edit configurations. For the edit, I'll go to options, rename. I'll call this DDJ RB with 1000. So now that's saved. So if I go over here, this is what I want. This is where the crossfader should, if I did everything right, should still not work. Good. Over here it works. Great. And I'll do the same thing for the DDJ 1000 that we just edited. So I'll go to configure DDJ 1000. This is the edit right here. So I'll go to edit configurations. This is our edit. Rename DDJ 1000 with RB. And boom. Let's just see what we have. Perfect. And this should work, and this should not. Excellent. All right, and last thing I'm gonna do is just a quick little mix on the controllers. Once again, this is deck 1, deck 2, deck 3, deck 4. It kind of worked out that way that it's all in order. That was actually an accident. I had no idea that was gonna be the case. So I'm gonna put my headphones on and I will get started. And if you don't need any more of this video, that's great. But if you want to listen until the end, this mix will, I don't know, be a couple minutes. And yeah, that's it. So here we go. Trying to find where everything is right now is kind of interesting. So this on the right. And now I can hear this in my headphones right here. Turn this down a little bit. This is very odd, doing this. all by myself. Back up to tempo.
Okay.
And now I will do my song Going Home. This one's called A Banger. And then I'll do my last song, which is over here. Stop and go. Get it to the right tempo, 150. I'm going home. Put a little effects on just to show you what it does. Bass swap between two controllers right here. Filter this out. And cool. And let's try a pad effect. I don't know what these are, so I'll go to my effects right now.
Chop it.
Sounds like a good time to end it right now. And there you have it. A little mix with two controllers, and yeah, that's about it. If you liked this video or if it helped you out, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or video suggestions, be sure to leave a comment. If you want to see more content like this and check out my original music, DJ performances, other DJ tutorials, and sound design tutorials, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Thanks a lot.